What's going on, everybody? We have some interesting stuff to talk about. First off, as many of you probably know by now, Trump made an announcement about a strategic crypto reserve. But that's not it. We also have a potential investment announcement coming. Now, in general, a lot of articles are expecting this announcement to be regarding TSMC and a $100 billion investment into the US. But I'll link an article down below that has the video coming up that will have this announcement. It might be the 100 billion from TSMC. It might be something else. Now, what happened yesterday? Why did Bitcoin just start spiking like crazy? Solana, XRP, Ethereum, Cardano ran up to $1 from like 50 cents. Well, Donald Trump announced a US crypto reserve. And first off, he only mentioned XRP, Solana, and Cardano. But then adds shortly later, and obviously Bitcoin and ETH as other valuable cryptocurrencies will be the heart of the reserve. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this definitely caused a spike from the cryptos mentioned. Here on Monday, we're seeing some profit taking, some pullback. The last time we have seen a candle like this is actually back in November. Now, as I said in a previous video, Bitcoin filled its CME gap. Although some are saying it partially filled it, it didn't completely fill it. Perhaps this is all the market wanted. Gaps don't always fill to a T. But in my opinion, until Bitcoin breaks the 50 MA, we're probably going to continue just seeing this chop. It has been a resistance for pretty much about a month now. I have a feeling that we could end up playing out a nice double bottom to then test the 50 MA. But for now, Bitcoin is still in a downward trend until it breaks out of its descending resistance. Now, I do want to mention MicroStrategy stock, and we'll get into some other things as well. But MicroStrategy did not announce a Bitcoin buy on Monday. MicroStrategy moved very nicely on this Bitcoin strategic reserve news, and it's still up a little bit today. One thing that's very interesting about MicroStrategy is since the very beginning of this Bitcoin cycle, MicroStrategy has held the 200 MA. It did it here, and it also saw a bullish divergence. The price kept coming down, whereas the RSI started rising. This did mark a local bottom. Again, it tested the 200 MA here. And again, we tested the 200 MA. And MicroStrategy is oversold, which doesn't happen all that often since the beginning of this cycle. We've had it actually probably less times than Bitcoin hitting oversold. MicroStrategy 2 is facing a descending resistance similar to Bitcoin. In my opinion, it needs to break out of this, otherwise we just continue to find it as resistance. But it is a positive seeing the 200 MA being held up. One thing I will be keeping a watch on is an RSI divergence similar to what we have seen in the past on MicroStrategy. If the RSI picks up but the price continues lower, this could be a good sign of a bullish RSI divergence and a potential reversal coming. And playing devil's advocate here, but of course it's possible that MSTR breaks the 200 MA. However, throughout this cycle, it has held up the 200 MA. So far, this trend is our friend. All right, now I want to talk about a prediction made. State Street says that crypto ETFs are going to surpass precious metals ETFs in the US. And this prediction would make crypto ETFs the third largest asset class in the $15 trillion ETF industry. In State Street's 2025 Global ETF Outlook, they predicted that current crypto funds will expand to multi-coin products. They also added that digital ETFs AUM, or asset under management, will grow larger than that of precious metals by 2025. I think they meant by the end of 2025, in 2025. And Frank Kodelka from State Street noted that more advisors are showing interest in crypto products. We have been very surprised by the speed of growth of crypto. I expected there to be pent-up demand, but I didn't expect it to be strong as it was. And here are some of their predictions. The top 10 coins by market cap will have a spot ETF in 2025. And these crypto ETFs will expand beyond Bitcoin and ETH, meaning potential meme coin ETF, meaning potential Sol, Cardano, and XRP ETFs, so on and so forth. And as we talked about, we've been continuing to see altcoin ETFs being proposed, being applied for. And James Toledano, COO of Unity Wallet, told Crypto News that 2025 would be a breakout year for altcoin ETFs. Altcoin ETFs have genuine potential to attract capital, especially if supported by innovation-friendly policies with the new incoming US administration. This must have been an old quote. However, he added that their success may be less consistent to Bitcoin due to the seemingly episodic nature of interest in altcoins. Now, keep an eye on the Bitcoin mining updates. We don't have anything yet necessarily from Riot, Mara, or CleanSpark. But keep an eye out. They typically report their Bitcoin mining update for the prior month in the first couple days of the new month. So we will get February's mining update within a day or two probably. So keep on the lookout. Now, how do you guys feel about this crypto news? Do you think the US should only do a Bitcoin strategic reserve, or should we involve altcoins? I think this is definitely a mixed discussion. Keeping opinions of Trump aside, whether you like or dislike him, the potential addition of alts in a strategic reserve does have some people that are very pro that and very against that, regardless of your stance on Donald Trump. I personally think if we are to do an altcoin reserve along with Bitcoin, These need to be considerably smaller in position, they are considerably higher risk, and they are very volatile. If we're in the right trend, these altcoins can outperform Bitcoin. However, if we're in a bear market, these altcoins will absolutely get destroyed compared to Bitcoin. We're talking about 80%, 90% down, at least what we've seen in the past. Perhaps with an altcoin reserve, they may be a little more stable, but I would still expect some rough bear markets when we do get in them. Just as I'd expect some insane bull markets when they arrive as well. But I'll end this here. Remember, with the alts, we can have these violent rallies. Look at what Cardano did. It was at 66 cents and ran all the way to $1.20 almost, cooling down now, but still up considerably. Keep an eye on this general trend for Cardano. It has continued to find this as a resistance. This isn't just a coincidence. The market sees this and takes profit when we hit this resistance line, when we are overbought and we are hitting this resistance line. And let me show you right here this RSI divergence. The price continued higher, however the RSI was already starting to cool down. This was a sign of a reversal, and we got that. So keep an eye on the RSI divergences, bearish and bullish. It was overbought, cooled down a bit. If we continue to see it pumping, continue to see it pushing, along with other alts potentially, just look out for those divergences. But yeah, I mean, keep an eye on this trend. You know, if we continue higher, we might find resistance at it next at a, $1.60 or so before we cool down. But thanks as always, guys. I started rambling on in this one and getting completely distracted. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.